So first of all, thank you for all the support this evening from the sponsors through to everyone in this room for being here. So my journey started with a trip through South Asia where I became absolutely fascinated trying to understand how people living on $1, even less dollars a day, how on earth they're still struggling with that while still being surrounded by the plastic waste that is surrounding the landscape. So this journey led me to India to start Plastics for Change with the goal of addressing two of society's biggest problems, plastic pollution and poverty, and to solve both problems at the same time. So I won't be able to invite all of you to come to India and see our supply chain, but I will invite you all to use your imaginations as I illustrate how plastic waste can be used as a resource for creating better livelihoods for some of the poorest people in society. So imagine this. You are a plankton. You've been sitting about 10 kilometers beneath the Earth's crust for around 300 million years, resting peacefully. Your plankton body is now transformed into petroleum. Suddenly you hear a terribly horrendous drilling noise and you're sucked up a tube, and you eventually make your way into an ocean tanker. This ocean tanker travels to a petroleum refinery in Gujarat, and an enormous amount of electricity and energy is used to combine your polyethylene body into a polycarbon chain that we now call virgin plastic. You continue through a very complex manufacturing supply chain, distribution. You finally make it onto a store shelf where a consumer picks you up, uses you for around 30 seconds, and then dumps you into the street in a slum outside of Bangalore. Now, I'll invite you to transport out of your algae or photoplankton body and step into the reality of a wasteworker named Archana. You are in one of Bangalore's biggest slums. It's hot. You can feel the sun on your face. As you take a breath in, you can smell the familiar scent of burning plastic in the background. As you draw the attention to your body, you're exhausted. You've walked almost 5 kilometers this day. You've bent over close to 2,000 times, picking up discarded plastics that would otherwise be ending up in our rivers, eventually making it to the lowest place, which is the ocean. And despite all this hard work, you still don't know how much you're going to get paid this day, because the price is constantly, it's always going up and down. You don't know when you're going to get paid, because as you lug this 25-kilo sack to the scrap shop, you realize the scrap shop doesn't have the cash to pay you. He's waiting for the end buyer to settle with him. So you don't know how to put food on the table today. And since you don't have any savings, your only other idea for how to put food on the table for your kids right now is to do some sex work. So, in this slum, there's a skyscraper you look up to, and in this skyscraper, there's a procurement manager named Vaishali. She works for a large consumer packaged good company. And when she started her job, she was determined to use 100% recycled plastic on all of the product lines that she was in charge of. But when she went to source plastic from the market, she had a really hard time getting the right quality standards. And then when she ran the manufacturing cycle, the consistency wasn't there, which resulted in a huge batch of defect products being made. And now her boss is saying that if the defects happen again, she's fired. So luckily, she was able to visit the body shop store and was able to read about information about Plastics for Change. And she took a meeting with us. And Plastics for Change, we've developed a marketplace platform that it makes it easy for brands and manufacturers to source a consistent supply of high-quality recycled plastic from responsible supply chains. And working with Vaishali, we created a project plan to show how she can meet her recycling goals, and we stabilized the price with her over a 3-year cycle. This allowed us to hire a network of field associates who go and engage with these scrap shops, engage with these plastics traders. And since we have the price stabilized, we're able to onboard them onto our technology platform and guarantee that it's going to be profitable for them, as long as they're treating the waste pickers right and issuing buy-sell transactions to ensure that the waste pickers are getting that consistent income opportunity. And in every zone, we're now establishing a franchise model. So this franchise sources from all these plastics traders, all these scrap shops, and we're able to certify that the correct standard operating procedures have been used, the right equipment, and to certify that it's a consistent supply of the highest quality recycled material available on the marketplace. So, my ask for you is the next time you buy something made of plastic, ask yourself, are you supporting the shareholders of the fossil fuel industry, or are you helping to support responsible supply chains that are benefiting some of the poorest members of society around the world? It's the waste pickers. And thanks again so much for the support. With this, we're expanding to coastal communities throughout India currently, but with plans to expand the same model through emerging economies in Asia and hopefully eventually around the world. So if you're an investor in the room, please also look at how we can take this model to communities that are in real need of the waste management systems that we take for granted here in the UK. Thank you so much.